All right. So today it's all about something a little new. We're going to get back to the graphing once we have the ratios and rates in our minds. So we need some background on ratios and rates before we move on. So this stuff you've already seen before, so this is going to be a quick little refresher because you've seen this in years past. I'm just going to go through some of the problems that I found in your book on page 162 if you want to follow along with me here. So we're going to look at this first set in which it asks to write each ratio in simplest form. So let's just try a couple of these. Let's go ahead and try this one. So this is a ratio. You're comparing two quantities, and in this case 50 meters to 30 meters, and we need to simplify that. So if I have 50 meters to 30 meters and it's asked to simplify, I can write a ratio as a fraction. It means the same thing, 50 to 30, and then I just simplify like you would a normal fraction. So in this case, I'm going to divide both these by 10, and that is as much as I can do. That's the greatest common factor, and I get 5 to 3. Some of you might be like, that's improper, keep going. But in a ratio, we need to keep it as two quantities. So it's going to be 5 meters to 3 meters. It's as simple as we can get it. Let's try another one. Let's look at, how about, I don't know, let's just go to the next one. We'll try one more. 28 seconds to 2 minutes. So how would you simplify this one? Well, they could both be divided by 2. So I'm at 14 seconds per 1 minute. And that's as simple as I can get it. Remember, I'm still keeping it as two quantities. I'm talking about a ratio. I'm describing two things. And now this leads us into perfectly what's known as the unit rate. So if we look at this other part here, so now we go to this next section, finding what's known as the unit rate. So we take a ratio that might not be in simplest form, and we find what's called the unit rate. So let's say something makes use of 36 gallons in 12 minutes. 36 gallons in 12 minutes. So I'm going to write that ratio out. 36 gallons in 12 minutes. The unit rate means I need this number here on the bottom, on the denominator, to be 1 unit, like equivalent to 1. So I don't want 12 minutes, I want 1 minute. I want that to be 1. So what would I do to this number to simplify this fraction down to 1 on the denominator and keep it valued the same, an equivalent fraction? So I'm going to divide by 12 to get it to be 1. Meaning if I do that to the denominator, I'm going to have to do the same thing to the numerator, and 36 divided by 12 is 3. So my unit rate in this case is 3 gallons per minute. So I could also write that as 3 gallons per minute. And this per one of something is what's known as the unit rate. So let's try something else. How about you're able to run 200 meters in 16 seconds. 200 meters in 16 seconds. And we want to know how many meters per 1 second for a unit rate. So how do we get it? Divide by, not 12 this time, but 16. So I'm going to have to do the same thing to 200. 200 divided by 16, does it go in nicely? Probably not. So I get a 2 there, 32 there, and 8 left over. So I get 12 and 8/16, which is really 12 and a half, which is really 12.5. So I go 12.5 meters per second. Do you think I could run that 12.5 meters per second? Or do you think we're talking about a bike? Or a car? Or a plane? What do you think is being talked about there? Just something to think about. Alright, let's try some other ones. So that was unit rate. Hopefully you have an idea of that now. Now if we look at some of these wordy problems. This one about the water. A water pump moves 330 gallons of water in 22 minutes. Find the unit rate. Alright, we just did that, so we don't need to practice that. How about the food one? It's about food, then we're probably going to love it. 32-ounce container of yogurt costs this much. That's a good price. An 8-ounce container of the same yogurt costs that much. 75 cents. Find the unit cost of each container that will then answer this question, which container of yogurt is the better buy? I always do this at the grocery store. I am always looking at the unit cost. That's going to tell me which item is the better buy. So let's try and figure this out here. We have a 32-ounce container of yogurt. And if you're dairy-free, just think of it as soy yogurt or coconut yogurt. 32 ounces for how much money? $2.69. Now you guys, I could also write it as for $2.69, I get 32 ounces. But the thing is, I don't want to work, well, one of these I don't want to work with. Now I cross out both of them. I'll take the cross out off. One of them I do want to work with, one of them I don't. It's asking for the unit price. So if I want the unit price, I need to know money per 1 ounce. How much money I am spending per ounce. So in this case, this is per dollar. So I don't want that. I want per ounce. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to try and make it out of 1. I want per 1 ounce. So how would I get that? Divide by 32. So I'm going to divide this one by 32. Now this is where a calculator can be used. Definitely want to use it. So I'm going to take 2.69, and divide by 32. All right, now
Could the basketball boys please be dismissed? Thank you.
Basketball, hopefully they win. There's my price per ounce. Now the thing is, I want it in money. So how much money would this be? Remember, in money we go to the hundredths spot. So is it going to be 0.08 or 0.09? We would round it to 0.08. And 0.08. And how much money is that? That's 8 cents per ounce. And that was for the 32-ounce container of yogurt. Okay, are we done with the problem yet? Not quite. Now I need to know the other yogurt, which was 8 ounces, 75 cents. Is that a better deal? So I had 8 ounces of yogurt for 75 cents. And I want to know how much that would be per ounce. So should I write it this way? No. I need money on the numerator if I want to compare it with what I already have. So 75 cents over 8 ounces, for 8 ounces. And then I want it to be out of 1 ounce. So how do I get it out of 1? Well, I'm going to take that 8 and divide by 8. So now on the calculator, I'm going to do 0.75 divided by 8. Oh, and there I have it. How much money? 0.09, which is 9 cents per ounce. So this one is 1 cent per ounce more expensive than the 32-ounce yogurt. So which one's the actual better deal? 32-ounce yogurt, because the price per ounce is 1 cent cheaper. All right, thank you for working with me on ratios, rates, and unit rates. Okay? I will see ya in class.